All right, I know this is going to be difficult for people because everybody gets disgusted now when they hear Brett Kavanaugh. But here is Brett Kavanaugh pledging to be independent and impartial. This is what you want out of your Supreme Court justice. You want him to, or her, him if it's a Republican appointee, obviously, him or her to be impartial, to rise above the political fray, right? To not get caught up in the politics are one part of our American life. Party disputes are another part of it. But when you're a judge, all that just goes away. And listen to how he expresses that.
Article 3 of the Constitution provides that the judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is an institution of law. It is not a partisan or political institution. The justices do not sit on opposite sides of an aisle. We do not caucus in separate rooms. The Supreme Court is a team of 9, and I will always be a team player on the team of 9.
Yes. Now, he also knows that he's going to be in the 5 of the 4, but let's put that aside. I don't want to be cynical. The same 5 I don't want to be cynical because what he's espousing there, I believe, is that he is going to put aside all of the rancor from the committee hearings. He's not going to, it's not about things like, how he got there or whatnot. He understands the political process. He's not going to hold any grudges.
No hard feelings.
He's going to, no hard feelings. It's not a team. It's not team politics. This is just about being a judge. So he's not going to, he's moved on from the process, right? He doesn't blame anybody or anything like that. But wait a second. The speech continues.
I thank the members of the United States Senate, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, for his leadership and steady resolve. I thank Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley for his wisdom and fairness. And I give special gratitude to Senators Rob Portman, Susan Collins, Joe Manchin, John Kyle, and Lindsey Graham. They are a credit to the country and the Senate. I'll be forever grateful to each of them and to all the senators who carefully considered my nomination.
Oh, he qualified that. It wasn't all the senators. I thought he was going to say to all the senators who were doing their job. But no, in fact, he's basically saying in almost a polite way, it's almost a polite way, F you to all you senators who voted against me.
Yeah, well, if they didn't vote for him, then they clearly didn't consider it carefully.
Yeah, well, I mean, the point being that this is not a guy who's showing any judicial temperament, even after winning, right? This is the easiest thing in the world to do, is to come up after you win and say, I understand there is political rancor. That is part of the territory. It's not pleasant, but I understand that's part of the process, and I appreciate all senators for doing their job. That is the way even a normal, just a baseline normal judge who cares about just his own legacy and the legacy of the institution of the judiciary would respond. Even if it was completely disingenuous. That if you had one shred of respect for the judiciary, you would come out and say, I have to be magnanimous here because I don't want the people of this country to believe that one of 9 people sitting on the highest court in the land that makes a fundamental decision about the power of government and the rights of of American citizens is in any way biased or holding grudges against political parties or entities who may or may not have supported me. That would be the baseline for someone who has even iota of judicial temperament. And even in winning, this snivelly little privileged man couldn't even work that up.
Well, he's showing what these people are really like, right? Like, if Trump had nominated somebody with the exact same horrible politics, but maybe a better manner, people might still think that the Supreme Court is an apolitical body, when in fact, it's clearly not.
Are there advantages to it? I suppose. I mean, I suppose until we start seeing those hearings. If someone was going to vote exactly the way this guy was, but this is an indication that this guy may be even worse in some of these instances. I mean, we don't know. There's no way to know. I mean, in a perfect world, we would have the ability to divine, how is one person going to vote versus another. But this is indicative of someone who clearly had no judicial temperament. And it is a reflection on exactly who the Republican Party is, because they saw this in this guy. He's parading it in public.
Well, they're sore
Can't
winners.
tell me that he has, well,
it's all about the politics of aggrievement, right?
Indeed.
Like, even when they're winning, they still need something to be pissed off about. Otherwise, they can't whip up the base.